All right, I got my boogie shirt on for my Mesa Boogie. All right, anyway, so this is the guitar of the day. This is a Gibson SG. This one happens to be a 61 reissue kind of looking deal with the small pick guard. They also make them with the bigger, what they call them, batwing pick guards that go out here too. I like the small ones. Shows more of the wood grain, but still provides pick guard protection for scratch resistance against the picks. All right, anyway, scale of the day. So what we're going to do today is we've done 14 lessons on these scales so far, and we've covered a bunch of things, and we're going to kind of put all of those in this practice lesson and practice them a little bit different way by combining them. In particular, we're going to go over the open scale, open C major scale, and A minor scale, and we're going to do the single string scales, but then we're going to do the 5 patterns off those 5 root patterns, and we're going to do the major scale, then we're going to do the pentatonic scale in the same pattern. They're going to move up and do the major scale and do the pentatonic scale. Then we're going to move up and do the major scale and do the pentatonic scale. Move up and do the major scale. You get the idea. We're going to do those back to back. So you get used to seeing them and switching between them in one position and in every position all the way up the neck. All right, so let's get right down to that. And so first, let's just start and do part of this is just repetition, is how you get these scales in your mind and how you get the notes. So we're going to slow this down a little to just 66 and run through the first the open C scale. Okay, so we're going to start from C and go to C in the open position. Okay, so we're going to play the major scale, open position, C major scale. Then we're going to play the open position, A minor scale. We're going to play quarter notes, root to root. Okay, 1, 2, and say the notes. 1, 2, ready, go. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Now the A minor. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, G, F, E, D, C, E, A. Okay? Now, what I want to do next is do the single string scales, and I want to make sure you stay with the metronome click on these and just go from one right into the other. And the idea is to see, do you know where these roots are, where these C notes are on your neck, okay? Fast enough to change between them on the fly and not miss these hits. So the first one's at the 8th, right? And just review real quick before we do this. So we have one on the 8th fret of your low E string. We have one at the 3rd fret of your A string. We have one at the 10th fret on the D string. We have one at the 5th fret of your G string. We have one at the 1st fret on the 1st fret of your B string. And then again on the 8th fret. Okay, so let's go with these. 1, 2, ready, go. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. 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 Okay? Let's do that again. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do our single note scales. 1, 2, ready, go. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. How'd you do? Were you able to stay with it there? If not, back up the video and go again. After you do that a few times, or just pause the video and try to do it yourself. But try to get a metronome click going where you're forced to find that starting point of the next C note on the next string quickly and on time, and arrive on time to it. If you can't do it, slow the metronome down. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is, and this is really an important one, okay? This is something, and this is the real reason I'm mainly doing this video as its own standalone lesson, is practice doing this. Okay, you really want to practice, spend some time doing this, where you see the connections between the roots, okay, and then the major scale, and the same roots with the major pentatonic scale. Okay? You want to be able to see that, and then you want to be able to move to the next pattern and see the next one, okay? All right, so let's do this we're not going to go real fast, but I'm going to put it on 72, and we're going to try to play these patterns. Major scale first, and we'll start at the root. We'll go all the way up to the top as far as it goes, come all the way back down to the lowest note, which in this pattern is the open E, and back up to the C, okay? And then we'll go straight on the next click to starting that pentatonic pattern, and we will run all the way up the whole pentatonic pattern from and back down. Okay, got it? So we start on the root, we play up and down and back up, and we go right to the pentatonic, okay? 1 and 2 and ready, major scale. Okay, I kind of did that where I probably should have let one more click go at the end, just so that we were emphasizing the first note on the click instead of off the click. Okay, let's try that one more time. 1 and 2 and ready, go, and pentatonic. Okay, can you do that one again? Let's do this again. It's from the major scale. 1 and 2 and ready, go, and pentatonic. Again. Now the next thing you have to be able to do is go right into the next pattern, okay? So let's just prepare for that on this first trip through. So where's the next set of roots? The first one are here. The next ones are here, right? The 3rd and 5th fret on the 5th and 3rd strings. Okay, so we know this position from two things. We know it from this pattern 4, the A chord pattern. We know it from the major scale that goes. also from the Segovia scale pattern that started there. Remember that? So what I actually recommend you do on this is when you hit this pattern, go ahead and do the Segovia scale first. Then do the major scale pattern, the CAGED pattern, the A chord pattern. Then go right to the pentatonic. See what I did the last time? I emphasized those C roots while doing the pentatonic. Okay, so let's just run through it. Okay, so with the click, we're going to do the Segovian scale up and down. Then we're going to do the major scale pattern. And let's start on this C note, okay, this lower root. Our two rotes are here. So when we get to the major pattern, we're going to start with our middle finger on the C and go. Okay, right up to the next scale. All right, to the next root. And then so we'll go up and down and all the way down through the pattern, down to the G and back up to the C. And then we'll do the pentatonic, okay? 1 and 2 and ready, go. Okay, let's do this again with the Segovian, then the major, then the pentatonic, all right, back to back, okay? 1 and 2 and ready, Segovian. Major. Let's do this one more time. Segovian, 1 and 2 and ready, go. Major scale A chord pattern, go. Pentatonic, ready, go. Okay, now can you put them all together and do it without the graphics on the screen? Let's try that. Segovian, 1, 2, ready, go. CAGED. Pentatonic. 5 of 5. It's the G chord pattern. It had roots here. Right, like you're playing a chord, like a G chord form here. Bar. Those are your 3 patterns, right? So it starts with an ABC on the major. Alright, so let's start from the major at the 8th fret with your pinky and go up. We'll go all the way up the pattern, then all the way down the pattern, back down and up to the root, okay? 1, 2, then straight into the pentatonics. 1, 2, ready, go. Pentatonic. This is the most familiar pattern. Do it again with the major. Alright, now let's go on to the pattern 1 of 5, the E chord pattern. So where's that? This is your most common form of the major scale, the most comfortable, common 2-octave. Remember we called this the E root chord pattern because there's an E chord sitting there with those 3 roots. Okay, here we go. C up. 1, 2, and ready, go. Let's put these 2 together, right? So the E chord pattern, pattern 1 of 5, caged major scale. 1, 2, ready, go. Right to the pentatonic. Back to the major. Pentatonic. Then we have pattern 2 of 5, which has its roots up here at the 10th fret of the D string and the 13th fret of the B string. Okay, so this one's a little awkward to think about. Well, where do you want to start this major scale? Because you have nearly a complete scale on the bottom of it, right? Scale, the only note you don't have is this C, because the scale pattern starts on D. Okay, so it's still best to start this from the C root and go all the way, go up to the next root, double hit the root, go up, come down, come back down, double hit this, play all the way back down to that D, and back up to this root, okay? So let's just do that major scale first. 1 and 2 and ready, go. And this is the one with the running back for the pentatonic. And if you didn't watch the earlier lessons, I described this pattern as like a running back going right up the center of the line who goes straight up the middle, and then he jukes left, and then he jukes right, and then he's right back to the center going straight up. Talking about the symmetry of the pattern. All right, let's put these two together. 1 and 2 and ready, go. And pentatonic. Pentatonic again, double hit the roots. There's no way for you to follow me on the end part of that. It's okay though. So the next one is C major, now with the roots in the 13th fret, right? Because we just played up to here. Now we're going to move on up. Let's keep moving up the neck. So this time you have to use your index finger on this pattern. We did it in the open position below, right? So now we're going to be doing it at the 12th fret, basically, with the roots at the 13th and the 15th. Okay, so your first C is with your pinky at the 15th fret on the A string. 1 and 2 and ready, go. And pentatonic pattern is both again. 1 and 2 and ready, major scale. Pentatonic. Double hitting the roots there on that. All right, let's keep going up the neck. So now we're at the 15th fret, really the 14th fret, but the 15th fret C is where you start. Okay, and the pattern this time has the roots here. 1 and 2 and pattern 4, ready, go. Pentatonic, it's that nice symmetrical one. All right, so then we can get, I think, one more here. at the 17th fret with our pinky starting here at the 20th fret. Pentatonic is do it again with the metronome. Alright, so we're starting with our pinky on the 20th fret C. 12, 15, 17, 19, 20. Those are your dot markers, except on 20. 1 and 2 and ready, go. And the pentatonic is as you get up this high, you might want to just switch to doing 2 fingers only. Just becomes easier. Alright, so can you get one more? Yes, you can. On a 22 fret guitar, which is what I have, you can get one more pattern on this. So here you are at the 20th, the C. You can get that E pattern again. Okay, so here we go. Major scale and then the pentatonic. Pattern 1 of 5, the E chord root pattern. 1, 2, ready, go. It's awkward. Now, why would you want to do that even though it's awkward? Because you want to get in the habit of being able to play up in this high register. If you can see the notes, you can play them with any fingers, right? But it is... Okay, here's the pentatonic. Okay, so that's all of them. That's all of them up and down the neck here. Now, if you practice those and you start putting those patterns together so you see them both surrounding those roots, it's going to help you a lot. And I would recommend spending 3 days, 4 days, 5 days doing that every day for a while, you know, and maybe a lot longer, you know, until you can really see those 5 patterns. I'm going to keep moving with lessons into the 3-note per scales, 3-note per string scales next. But, you know, if you need to slow down, you'll catch up later to me. And, you know, it's worth spending time to really get these patterns to where you see them and understand where the root notes are and where the major and minor, where the major and major pentatonic scales are and where the major roots are. And then it's also worth knowing where paying attention to where those minor roots are as well. Excuse me. And that's the scale of the day.